Did FanXin cook, or is the FanXin Hudong Light just another random Speedcube?
So FanXin is most known for their fruits, and they haven't actually made a good Speedcube yet, up until today, so let's talk about it.
So the FanXin Hudong Light comes in 3 versions. We have the standard one, which is spring and not UV coated. We have a flagship one with UV coating, but still the springs. And we have an ultra version, which has maglev and UV coating. And it's important to keep in mind that these are all competitively priced Speedcubes. We have $21.99 for the standard one, $28.99 for the flagship one, and $31.99 for the ultra one.
So for the price, this cube actually has some pretty good performance. The speed is nice, it's not overly fast, but still fast. The corner cutting is good, especially the reverse corner cutting we were very surprised by. It was way better than expected and up there among the best cubes in the world.
Agreed, and we're mainly talking about the standard version because the standard is already fast, so there's no real need to step up to the maglev just for the sake of speed, and for us UV coating isn't really a main issue, so that's why we are mainly talking about the standard version in this video. And talking about the standard version, we've had quite a bit of problem trying to find nice screw adjustment and tension adjustments on this cube to make the cube not pop. And unfortunately, on the looser tensions, which we first experimented with, we had both popping issues and corner twisting issues. So we were gradually forced to tighten the cube until we find a setting which we liked. And that's a setting where popping is still a small issue, but not to a major extent.
So most likely you will also find these settings where it doesn't pop, at least often, even though it is possible. But something that probably will occur for you is a centerpiece pop, which is kind of funny because in my last video I said that this is not a problem on any cube basically, but today it is.
Yeah, we wish that caps had just a better design, both to the fact that they are round with these small knobs at 90 degrees, which you need to fit in when you actually want to put the center cap on, but also the fact that if you drop it or even just do random turns, they will sometimes just pop off, and that's very weird.
Even though the design is quite similar to the Tornado, I feel like this one does actually have quite a unique feel, and I wouldn't say it's very similar to any of the other cubes on the market.
And while this puzzle is quite fast, it also has an interesting papery feel. It's a bit on the sandy side. Even after lubrication, you will notice that there is quite a papery feel to the turns. So all the 3 versions of this cube comes with a ball core, which is nice to see. All the versions are actually competitive Speedcubes, which they want you to main. It also has an easy to use adjustment system, screw and just a tension ring which you can go around in a few different settings, so that's quite good.
The magnet strength here is actually on the stronger side, and you will get clear bumps when you're turning it, so if you're used for example a GAN puzzle you might get a surprise with this one. It's more towards the Moyu style of magnetization.
So talking about the centerpiece on the cube, these are actually round, and I mean not rounded, they are in fact round. And that gives quite an interesting feel. When I first picked up the cube, I started to scramble it with quite a firm grip on the left edges, and I actually felt that the edges were like going up and down along the centerpiece. And that is definitely something to get used to. I personally don't like it. I think it adds some instability, which I don't like, but it's at least an innovative design.
Speaking of the stability, this is a very flexible puzzle, which is nice, but it's also flexible to a degree that it is actually unstable.
So pieces will just like go around and just like deform while I'm solving, and that will just give me lockups which are quite unpleasant. It will often have me completely lose track in my algorithm, and sometimes even have to redo the solve. So definitely, unfortunately, too unstable for me.
For me personally, I don't get a lot of these lockups, but I don't like the instability. So I actually do really like this release. It's cool to see a new brand that isn't known for Speedcubes actually stepping up and making a pretty good first release. But to me, it just isn't really main worthy, but for the price, it is good.
Agreed. And while this puzzle is quite good, unfortunately I will not main this puzzle myself either. But why I can say that I'm relatively positive about this release is mainly due to the price. This cube is competitively priced, both compared to obviously GAN puzzles, but also the other flagship level puzzles on the market. And that means that if you think when you watch this video that these these aspects that we have brought up is something that might suit your turning style, go ahead. You can try the cube for like 25 euros. It's not like you need to spend 70 euros on a cube which you might not like. So I will not universally recommend this cube, but if you think that you will like it, sure, give it a shot.